Blessed Wednesday. You are now tuned in to Apply Where Necessary. I am your host, Quay. Apply Where Necessary is the podcast where you take what you like, digest it, and give the rest to someone else who may be in need. We made it another week. We made it. I keep saying this because the day is not promised. Tomorrow isn't promised, so make sure you're present in the now as much as you can be. Today's affirmation is, I embrace everything that comes my way. I am going with the flow. Before we proceed, I would like to send a huge prayer of rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. We lost the king on my birthday. So sad. Like, as I was concluding my night, I go on Twitter and I see that he passed away. That man was a legend. He showed us, even in his dying moments, that you can never let a disease, and whether that be a physical disease or a mental disease, you can never let it stop you from accomplishing what you need to accomplish on earth. That man gave us 7 films in 4 years. Big, very important, impactful films within 4 years of fighting colon cancer. Just needed that moment. That was extremely inspirational just to hear and read, like, wow. Like, you know how unfortunately we have this habit of celebrating people when they're gone, and I think we've been celebrating Chadwick, while he's here, because he's been extraordinary. However, we do majority celebrate people when they're gone, and we start to reflect on what they did during their time here on earth, after their passing. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I do want us to get into the habit of celebrating people while they are on this earth. And one of my new business ventures, I channeled that earlier this year, and I realized we're not giving flowers. We're not really, expressing the love, how we feel to people while they're here. So one of my new business ventures that is going to roll out possibly at the end of this year and beginning of next, I'm going to touch on that issue, and I'm problem solving. But yes, Chadwick, he just showed us that you need to be unstoppable. Nothing should stop you as long as you have breath in your lungs and you have your limbs and you have mobility. Go, fight. And we get so comfortable, and I say we, I'm talking about me, we get so comfortable in everything that's going on and that we hope to go on, whatever, that we just think we have so much time. We think we have time. Even if even if you hustle, I gotta get it. There's still a small part of a lot of our brains where it's just like we think we have time to do what we hope to do, and so we plan out a year later, 2 years, and that's okay. Some things we will not accomplish within a month or 2 or even in a day, so it's okay to have those plans for those type of goals that we're going to achieve. However, we have to be aware that time is not promised and our days are numbered from the moment we were born. They were. So again, rest in peace to Chadwick, and I hope we really do learn from his passing and what he did on earth while he was fighting a obviously deadly disease. So speaking of that day, I celebrated my 26th birthday, and the day after I recorded last week's episode, I walked into a surprise from my close friends and clients, and it was so beautiful. I never had a surprise party before because I've always planned my birthdays out, or I'm a planner, and I never really give people the chance to surprise me, and it's not on purpose. It's just the type of person I am. And I was attending my client's farewell because she moved to LA, and I opened the door, and a lot of people that I love and cherish in New York were present, and the thoughtfulness of the surprise was so beautiful. I didn't even cry. Did I cry? I didn't cry on that day, but I probably shed a couple tears because I was just really, really grateful and truly shocked because I wasn't expecting it. You know how you kind of like, oh, I hope I get a surprise or something. You're just hoping, your birthday, you're like, something's gonna happen. But I truly was not expecting that because it wasn't about me that night, and they ended up making it about me, and it was so beautiful. They literally had rose petals and these balloons upon entrance, and vegan cupcakes and cookies for the dessert, a beautiful bouquet of roses. And as I walked further in, each person that was there wrote an affirmation down on these little chalkboards, and they had them hanging on the wall, and I read all of them. And it's crazy because I've become the affirmation queen, affirmation friend. And like I said, I learned to affirm, from a book, from a different individual. And there's a lot of other people out there of influence who affirm and, create content based around there. And I never really truly paid attention to those individuals. I just was on my own self-discovery, self-healing journey, and affirmations have just stuck with me, which is why my book, Apply Where Necessary, the book, is finished, interior designed, cover designed. It's coming out soon as an affirmations book and a few short personal stories just to get me started on this author journey, and with the hopes of being a well-known orator. So it was beautiful to see that piece of me that people value, they chose to incorporate that into a surprise party, and that was heartwarming. And then there was seafood boils. Everyone knows I'm a pescatarian and I love my crab and shrimp, and they had that as well as pizza, and it was just beautiful. I was very, very grateful, and it honestly took some pressure off of me because I really wanted to go to Mexico or out of the country for my birthday. As I always want to go out of the country for my birthday. Last year they surprised me with the trip to Spain that COVID fucked up. But we're gonna get out of here soon. We ain't gonna come back. Anyways, it was really beautiful. It took a lot off my shoulders as far as like having to plan my birthday, and it just put a smile on my face the whole night, and I was really, really grateful. And then a couple days later on my actual birthday, I had lunch at this amazing Black-owned restaurant, Shane's Brooklyn. I kind of want that today. I'm not even gonna lie. We, as in, someone special. We had catfish and grits, lemon poppy seed pancakes, scrambled eggs, sweet potato fries, catfish sandwich, and jumbo shrimp. When I tell you everything was seasoned down, not a saltiness in sight, it was like perfection. It was fresh and hot, steaming in your mouth. It was just so delicious. Like, I tell people, if I can have a good meal within the day, I've had a happy day. Like, a good meal is the small things for me, such as a really delicious meal, whether I cook it or I go out to eat for that experience. A great meal is very important to my day, so I made sure on my birthday, like, that's what I had. And when we just chilled out, and I concluded it with delicious desserts, and I'm a dessert queen. So we had like vegan cheesecake, vegan carrot cake, banana pudding, and this pound cake, blueberry banana pound cake. Delicious. Everyone who would call me kept asking though, and this is where what the podcast is going to be about. How does 26 feel? And I can honestly say, when I woke up 26, I just felt a positive pressure placed in me, not on my shoulders, but in me. And when I say positive, it's the fact that I actually felt like a grown-ass woman. Like, 25 is cute, 24, all that, cute, but 26 is like, and not that I'm saying I'm putting pressure, like I have to have this, and that, but to an extent you have to have, things figured out at a certain age or at a certain level in order to call yourself grown. And I really felt like, okay, you're a grown-ass woman now. I do a lot of grown woman things since I was, 19, to be honest, as far as moving away, just making my own decisions in life. However, this current moment, I feel more grown than I've ever felt. And like I said, I just placed a positive pressure on myself, because as I made this list before we started this podcast of what a grown woman means to me, I said, okay, Quay, you got a few more things you need to tap into before you really, you're like, yeah, I'm grown. Independent, I am. But I want to go through these definitions of a grown-ass woman. What makes a grown-ass woman and a grown-ass man? Because these things apply. There's no specific gender to this. It's just how you grown. Tell me how you grown. I'm eating my fruits and vegetables right here. Yeah. You see this? So a few things that, and this episode might be a little short, to be honest. I woke up, I went to sleep. I had a long day of doing hair. You know, the side hustle was booming yesterday. I was just like exhausted. I didn't eat until 10 o'clock last night. And so, like I told you guys from season 1, I like to think about my episodes at night and then solidify them in the morning. However, we're going to get a change because we're about to get some, okay, I know I say this a lot, but we're about to get some special guest hosts. But yeah, we almost didn't make it, but we made it, and we're going to proceed with grownness. So my definition of grown, or the characteristics, qualities, or factors of a grown individual, is control of self. Now, what does that mean? That means control of, you are control, so you're independent. You're in control of your emotions and how you respond to things. You're in control of what you put into your body and your intake of things, whether it is into your body physically or into your mind mentally, or into your circle, your circumference. You just have control over yourself. You know who you are. You know what you like. You know what you love. You know what you're open to. You know what you want around you. You protect that energy. I feel like that's complete control of self. And I am pretty there, okay? I've blocked out a lot of things. I'm just learning to balance instead of blocking everything out entirely. Where else can I allocate myself, my time, space, energy to, so that I can grow beyond the levels I'm able to just grow myself. So that's kind of a balance with like my human interactions. Like, I'm refining that balance because like I said previously, I was in hermit mode, and I was okay with being by myself or being with a significant other. Completely okay with it. Anything else, I don't care. So now I'm finding that balance again of balancing myself out, but at the end of the day, having control of self. Now, the second one is a real, we have a very interesting relationship, okay? Me and this one. And that's financial stability, which includes budgeting and healthy flow of income and a low overhead as well as expenses. Now, all my life I've been battling with this one. And when I was having the conversation with a loved one, I was telling them that I figured out why I have kind of like issues with this, like saving money, because I technically don't really have savings. I have one now and it's growing, but I have to increase this income, this healthy flow of income, so that I won't ever have to tap into my savings anymore. So that's what we're still working on. We're more conscious as of this day. I was saying how I didn't really have a healthy example of money management growing up, because my mother, she never had a savings. She spent what she received, on us, on the house, on herself, whatever. It always, what came in went out. So I am aware of the need of savings and such, but you can be aware of something. You have to be able to have practices and examples and ways to exercise it after you're aware. And so I was always aware of that, but now I'm like, okay. So I literally see what my examples of, or the lack thereof, were growing up, and I see what I'm doing now and what I can not do in order to get myself financially stable. So financial stability and healthy flow of income and budget is really essential to being a grown-ass individual. And that's the one that we're working on this 26th year of life. 27, we're going to be singing a whole new, higher tune, okay? Reputation intact. A grown-ass individual has their reputation intact. Now, some people, that one's a little tricky, but I can say it because I feel like I have a pretty clean fucking reputation. I didn't even need to cuss. But I have a pretty clean reputation. I mind my business. I put my nose in whatever my nose is summoned upon, and proceed. I think a lot of people who are very childish and who just aren't about their grownness indulge in arguments, whether it's via social media or with friends, individuals. They go through friendships too much, or go through conflict. It's just a lot of friction in that social area. I don't think that's good qualities of a grown-ass person, because grown-ass people let shit breeze and they just handle their business and they move according to the beat. And childish people don't do that. So I feel like your reputation intact is another factor of your grownness. Morals solidified. Now, I chose morals because, like I said, I am someone who's open to change. Like, I don't think everything that I think is the perfect way and I want to stay this way for the rest of my life. No, I'm open to receiving information from other people and digesting it and choosing, what I like about that information, or what I want to apply to my life, or who I am. Evolution. So being closed off, I just feel like that's pretty, I'm not gonna say childish, because some children learn to adapt. So it's just nonsense. It's ludicrous. But having your morals intact and knowing who you are, what you stand for, what you will not accept, and what you will accept is important. Pursuing a creative outlet, I think, is another factor of a grown individual. Oh my God, my leaves are growing so big over there on my plant. Oh my God. Plant mom moment. Wow. And a couple yellow. Back to it. Pursue a creative outlet. So this for me is my creative outlet. This podcast that I'm doing and that I'm going to continue to do, like I said, bring on more individuals, because it's just like I'm realizing, Quay, you just really can't do everything on your own. Like these creative blocks of topics and such, you need to feed. I just actually feed off other people's energy. Like I like to do shit by myself to start. And I did it. I established it. Now I'm open to letting people come in and feed off that energy so that we can take this podcast as higher and as visible as it needs to be. Whatever your creative outlook is, find it and tap into it and continue to feed yourself creatively so that the other areas of your life can flow and, you can perform high with it. I think that's really important. Communication, being an excellent communicator. Now, I like to say I value communication, but I'm still working on mine. This smoothie is so good. I've become a better listener. I used to be really reactive and defensive until I figured out why I'm so reactive and defensive. I still do it, but on a way smaller scale. I've always been a good listener, but like I said, sometimes I listen for criticism so that I can knock it out the park. Now I'm like learning to listen. Okay, Quay, breathe. Still working on my attitude, because even when I have to be quiet, it irks me. Like, I want to say something, so I'm still working on my response to my response. But being a better listener and an overall communicator just shows qualities within a grown individual, because you're not listening to react or respond. You're listening to truly listen, and you're communicating to truly be heard. Very important. Another one, a main one, is you're health conscious, and that is internally and externally. Externally as in your skin. Are you dry? Are you moisturized? Are you glowy or are you dull? Which one is it? I know some of us can't control, or can, but some of us have acne and stuff that, sucks that you've been dealing with. But there's a fix to that. Also, just your internal functions. Like, what are you putting in your body? Okay, smoothie again. Are you health conscious? Are you really eating to live? Are you being aware of everything you put in your body, and what the results of said substances in the bodies will do to you in the future? I'm trying to stay grown for a long time, grown and alive. So being aware of what you put in your body is very, very important. I said this on the last episode, 26 lessons processed food is out. It's out. It's out. If it was pre-made by someone else in a factory, not even someone else, by something else such as a robot, why are you eating it? Our ancestors hunted fish with spears and sticks. And, you know, if you eat meat, they hunted the animals and killed them by hand. So why are we straying so far, further and further away from that? Like, that's just so weird to me. I did it. Like, my mom, she bought processed foods growing up, all those things. But I'm learning to break those habits and create my own grown-ass life over here for my family that's to come. So being health conscious of what you put in your body and what you're putting on your skin, and grown teens. So if you don't know how to have this conversation, grow up. But those are a few of the things that I feel like I embody those. And then, you know, a couple I'm still working on. But that's also characteristics of a grown person. You're open to your evolution. You are aware that there's still something you need to work on, and you're actively doing so. Need I say more? Overall, I'm really blessed to see this 26th year. I had my life, when you read my book, you'll read how I had my life planned out up until 26. And so that's like 26 is really a special year because, honey, I'm not even gonna say, you just buy my book when it comes out. But I had some things in mind, and there's some things I totally accomplished, and some other things I'm like, let's try for 30. 30, okay, 30. We're gonna have them all X off the list. There's some things, but overall, I feel really good. I feel like I'm grown and I'm growing at this age of 26. That's the chapter, the name of this chapter. I'm grown and I'm growing, and that's the name of this episode. And that's what we're doing. I want you guys to write your own list for the exercise of this week. It's your own list of things that make you feel as if you're grown, that you know, like, this is what I embody these things, and also a list of the things you need to work on for this upcoming year, starting now. It doesn't have to be January 1st to be a new year. My new year just started 4 days ago on my birthday. Okay? So within this new year, what are some of the things that you want to work on to get yourself deeper and deeper into being grown, independent, and stable? I think grown-ass individuals are stable. That's all I have for today. I just want to reflect on my birthday and on this 26th chapter of this glorious life. Make sure you're reciting your daily affirmation. I am wealth, I am abundance, I am joy, because you are, we are, and it is so. Make sure you do your exercise, and I will see you and speak to you next Wednesday. Blessings to your day. I love you guys so much.